Dohyo is the name of day 5 of our Adventures by Disney Japan trip. Before we visit the Dohyo later today, we first start the day with a visit to the Fushimi Inari Shrine. This shrine is famous for its thousands of vermilion torii gates which line a network of trails. The trails lead into the wooded forest of the sacred Mount Inari. Fushimi Inari is the most important of several thousands of shrines dedicated to Inari, the Shinto god of rice. The Shinto religion is heavily based on its rituals and practices held at the local shrines, built where the Shinto kami are believed to reside. As we walk to the shrine, we get a glimpse of a torii gate, the first of many we will see that morning. The torii represents a gateway that signals a transition from the profane, or not sacred, to the sacred. While torii are usually located at the entrance to Shinto shrines, the torii doesn't necessarily only mark the entrance to a shrine, but it's also used to simply mark an area believed to have deep religious meaning. Here we see the main torii marking the primary entrance to the Fushimi Inari Shrine. The god Inari is worshipped at Inari shrines. This deity, also known as the god of rice, grants a wide variety of prayers, from better crop output to business prosperity to being completely cured of any illness, and prayers for academic success. As we approach the main entrance to the shrine, we see another torii gate and a Romon gate. The Romon, or tower gate, is a two-storied gate used in Japan. Even though it was originally developed by Buddhist architecture, it is now used at both Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines. This building is said to have been built by Toyotomi Hideyoshi in 1589. He was a feudal lord and chief imperial minister who completed the 16th century unification of Japan. He was known as the second great unifier of Japan. It is said when Hideyoshi's mother fell ill, he prayed to Inari Okami, pledging to donate 10,000 goku if she recovered. Goku was the currency to show the wealth of a town at the time. To put that in context, 1 goku means the amount of rice one person needed to live for 1 year. His wish was granted, and the main gate was built with Hideyoshi's donation. As we pass through the main gate, we see another torii that marks an area where people go to study. Here is the main entrance to the Senbon Torii, or thousands of torii gates. When people hear of the Fushimi Inari Shrine, they immediately think of the thousands of torii gates that line the trails in the mountains behind the main shrine buildings. In Japan, red is a symbol of fire and the sun, which is also considered as the color of life. This shade of red is called vermilion, which is believed to reject evil spirits, danger, and bad luck. These torii gates are not just meant as decorations. If you look closely, there is writing on each torii. This shows that that particular torii has been dedicated to the shrine by an individual or group. This is an act known as ono, or the dedication of valuable items to deities in temples and shrines. There is a custom that if wishes come true for someone that visited and prayed at the Fushimi Inari Shrine, they will revisit and dedicate a torii to the shrine. Most of the time, it is a successful businessman who follows this custom. As a result of this practice, the impressive and beautiful sight of thousands of torii gates have been created and preserved. This shows just how many wishes the deity Inari has answered. The donated torii can be of various sizes depending on the size of the donation. The costs start at around 400,000 yen for a small size gate and can increase to over 1 million yen for a large gate. Here, Janice and I are enjoying exploring the torii trails. We leave the Senbon trails and make our way to an area higher in the mountain. There are still many torii gates in the area, but this area also has many foxes. Here are 2 of the many foxes, or kitsune in Japanese. It is believed that the foxes are messengers to the god Inari and that the key in their mouth are to the rice granaries. No one is really quite sure how Inari became associated with these creatures. but it's said it is because foxes eat rats, which eat rice, which is Inari's principal protection. Another reason is said because foxes were popularly seen around rice fields, which lent themselves to being the messenger of the rice god. Another reason is a popular folktale that one night, a pair of foxes took shelter in an Inari temple and had kits there, and because of Inari's protection, the foxes became his messengers. As we head back down the mountain, we pass a row of stone lanterns. After leaving Fushimi Inari, we head south toward Nara to our next stop, the Todai-ji Temple. Before entering the main temple, we pass through the Great South Gate or Nandaimon. The 19-meter high entrance gate to Todai-ji is a reconstruction dating to 1199, replacing the original gate which was destroyed in 1180. The temple is guarded by two 28-foot tall statues, each with one hand up to welcome those with pure hearts and one hand down to suppress impure hearts. The open-mouthed statue on the left is called Aigyo, meaning beginning or birth. The closed-mouthed statue on the right is called Ungyo, meaning the end or death. The two figures were restored between 1988 and 1993. Until then, they had never been moved from the niches in which they were originally installed. After passing through the Great South Gate, we head over to visit Todai-ji's main hall. We get our first sight of the Great Buddha Hall. The temple was founded in 738 and officially opened in 752 when Nara was the capital. The temple has a 500-ton sculpture of Buddha, which is the largest bronze statue in the world, housed in the largest wooden building in the world. The Great Buddha Hall has to be big because it contains a 45-foot high cast bronze statue of a seated Buddha or Daibutsu, the largest such statue in the world and weighing in at around 500 tons. The sculpture was made in 737 and his right hand is raised in a gesture of teaching. To his right is a statue of Kokuzo Bosatsu, the god of wisdom. Behind the Daibutsu, on his left, we see Tamonten, guardian of the north, or he who hears all, and the chief of the four heavenly kings. And behind the Daibutsu, on his right, is Komokuten, the king of the west, he who sees all. After leaving Todai-ji Temple, we took a short walk into Nara for lunch on our own. We found a great place that served delicious pork cutlets. After lunch, we continue on to Katsuragi City, where we took part in a Sumo Experience. Next to the parking lot was a local rice farm. Rice is cultivated almost everywhere in Japan. About 6 months since the rice planting in early summer, we find the rice stalks change in color into golden and get bigger. Depending on the climate, generally in the beginning of October, the farmer starts to prepare to harvest the rice. They drain water from the paddy fields. During the harvest, the rice has to be dry. The sunny days are chosen for the harvest. Under the blue skies, the farmers work together for a smooth harvest. It is said that Japan has been producing rice for more than 3,000 years. Rice is the most important agricultural product in Japan, accounting for about 1/4 of total agricultural production. Rice is not just one of the grains for Japanese people. It's more than that. It's part of their fundamental culture, making thousands of traditions and festivals. Making rice even has great influence on Japanese way of thinking. To start our experience, Tomomi explains that we will be welcomed to the history and culture of sumo through a 3-part song.
今からですね、私ども日本の相撲文化の一つであります、相撲ジンクというのを皆さんに聞いていただくと思います。それで相撲ジンクの今日はですね、前歌、本歌、速さと3つ歌いますので、一つよろしくお願いいたします。
We would like to introduce you by welcoming one of the histories and the cultures of sumo. It has been inherited in years and years and years, and this is the welcome song. And there are 3 parts, and so it'll be in Japanese, but I hope you enjoy it.
そして、メインソングはですね、奈良県名所。今日は奈良の方ずっとお回りになったか分かりませんけど、言葉だけ、ワードだけね、東大寺、興福寺ね、それと二月堂とか春日大社、若草山、奈良の鹿とかいろいろ出てきますんでね、どうぞお楽しみください。それでは前歌から参ります。
In the lyrics, you might hear the places you've been to: Todai-ji, the Buddha, Kofukuji, where we walked by, and the deer, and such. This is to introduce the city of Nara.
Next, Tomomi explains the various officials of the Dohyo and the rules of sumo.
The gentleman on the right in green kimono, he's called Yobidashi. He's sort of like an assistant to the stage at Dohyo. Sumo, we use the directions and then the wrestlers' names. So they come on to the Dohyo from either east or west. So he calls from east and west in their names. That's his job.
リングアナウンサーですね。リングアナウンサー呼び出した人なんです。
Ring announcer.
それとこの土俵がね、お相撲取ると荒れますんでね、クリーン掃除いたします。
And then also, in between or after the Dohyo, he has to flatten the surface and make sure it's flat enough and sweeps. So that's also his role too.
今私どもがいるのはこれが土俵と申します。土俵ですね。
What we're standing on is called Dohyo.
そしてこの丸い俵の中、この中で相撲の勝負をやります。
And then you can see the ring, the lines around the circle, and sumo happens within that circle.
それとこの土俵からね、俵から外に出ても負けですね。
And the sumo wrestler, whoever steps off the ring, the circle, loses the game, the match.
そういう勝ち負けのね、ジャッジをいたします。
So then this is the judge who judges either the wrestler won or lost.
そして、勝負が決まりましたら、その力士の名前をね、もう一度呼び上げます。カジナノリと申します。
And then the judge again confirms and calls the name of the winner and to reconfirm he is the winner.
これからアマチュアのレスラーがね、ここで相撲を取りますので、一生懸命また応援させていただきたいと思います。我々はこれで失礼いたします。
So now we're going to bring the amateur wrestlers up on the stage and we'll get off the stage. Thank you.
Next, we see a demonstration of sumo. And finally, we get to see James compete against one of the sumo wrestlers. Good luck, James.
You can cheer him on.
I'm so scared. マクタなし手をついてハゲ
Push, push, James, push.
Come on, James.
James, leg.
It was close.
Leg.
And now I leave.
Yes.
Ori! Winner!
before leaving, we all get a chance to take pictures with the sumo wrestlers. After our sumo experience, we make our way to the charming city of Takayama, nestled in the mountainous regions of Hida, also known as the gateway to the Japanese Alps. Tomomi explained that many native Japanese have Takayama and Shirakarago, which is a town we will see tomorrow, on their bucket list of places to visit, so we were fortunate to have this as a part of our adventure. Once arriving at the hotel, we had dinner, and I couldn't miss out on the onsen experience. This was the view from our room, but the view from the onsen was very much the same. I can't describe how peaceful it was to experience the onsen as the sun was setting. That was an amazing way to end the day.